Hey guys, it's Han, and today I have the Tamiya lunchbox. So, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know that I absolutely love the lunchbox, and I have quite a number of lunchboxes in my collection, and I absolutely love these little trucks. There's just so much I love about them, just the way they drive, the way they look, just I absolutely love them. And I have recently unboxed this guy right here on my channel. This is the Expert Semi-Assembled edition, or the XSA edition. So this one essentially came basically pre-built and ready to run, other than the electronics not being installed, the servo not being included, and no radio being included. But other than that, it's essentially an RTR lunchbox. So you guys have seen this unboxed, and you guys have seen my classic teal and pink lunchbox and on the channel, as well as some other lunchboxes. But with how much I love the lunchbox, I realized I never ever unboxed one for you guys. So I thought I would change that today. And here we have the Tamiya lunchbox, the kit version. So this is the classic regular lunchbox, not the black edition or anything special, just a normal lunchbox. The only thing different about this is the more recent release of them. So nowadays they're including the Hobby Wing ESC instead of the Tamiya ESC. So that's basically going to be the only difference with this kit. But let's dig into it and see what it comes with. So on the box, you can see the lovely box art, the classic box art here. It looks absolutely fantastic. Lunchbox on the side, 1/12 scale RC, customized monster van for racing and show. So very cool. Very cool little box. From what I've heard, apparently the original ones from the 80s used to be bigger, but nowadays it's a pretty small box. On the side here we have lunchbox again. On the other side we have lunchbox again. And over here we have the chassis that's drawn on there. Some alternate color schemes you can do. Little Vanessa over here with the little caricature of the lunchbox. And then here, a little technical view of the chassis, as well as some hop-up parts you can get. So, pretty cool little box, and let's tear into it and see what it looks like inside. So, I absolutely love taking all this plastic off of these Tamiya boxes. It's just really fun and exciting feeling. It makes it feel like Christmas all over again. All right, let's get this opened up. And here we have it. It's nicely organized here. You can see the body shell, the wheels and tires, all that good stuff. So let's dig into it. Here we're gonna have the Hobby Wing ESC that's included. We open that up. It's just your typical brushed Hobby Wing ESC. I believe it is the waterproof one. So at least that's a little upgrade. My only complaint about the Hobby Wing ESCs is the switch for them aren't the same as the Tamiya one, so you won't be able to use the little spot for the power switch. But that's something I'm gonna end up changing. I think I'm gonna use the Hobby Wing ESC, but use the Tamiya plug for it, so I can still use the plug spot. The switch spot on the chassis. So there's that. Here we have some of the body bits can see the grill, exhaust, shocks, bumpers, all that stuff. Here we have the classic all-traction utility lunchbox tires. It's really cool how long Tamiya has been using these tires. Not even just on the lunchbox re-release, but on a lot of different models. They've used the heck out of these tires, and I really do like these tires. They're not the best at anything, but they're also not terrible at anything. So, and they also look really cool. Has that really nice monster truck chevron tread to it, and they're really good tires. So moving those out of the way, here we have the A-arms and the servo horn. The classic yellow lunchbox wheels. And for those of you that haven't seen the lunchbox before, the front wheels are bearings like a buggy, and the rears are this 5-lug kind of adapter kind of thing. Here we have the windshield and the roof glass. Some of the chassis bits, like the battery tray and motor mount and stuff like that. And here we have, of course, the lunchbox body. This is the regular kit version, so it is just a white body you have to paint yourself. Whereas the semi-assembled version and the XB RTR version come with a yellow molded body. Just in case you're wondering. It's so long since I've unboxed a brand new lunchbox, so this is very nostalgic for me. But here we have the famous bathtub chassis, and I'll talk a little bit more about this chassis in a second. But let's get through the rest of the box first. Here we have the Hornet transmission, lunchbox Hornet transmission case, and in this box, it says lunchbox on it here. Cool little box. This is where we're gonna find our motor as well as all our metal parts, like all the screws and hardware, shock shafts and stuff like that. So we have the typical Tamiya Mabuchi motor. You see it says Mabuchi right there. The gears and the grease and all that. The lunchbox uses this really long brass pinion gear instead of using like a regular pinion gear. Suspension parts, the wheelie bar, some of the other metal bits. The indestructible front bumper. And then here we have more gears, as well as all the screws and the bushings. So, like the Grasshopper and the Hornet, the lunchbox is a very beginner-friendly vehicle, and it's very, very simple to build and really fun to build. Actually, very stress-free. I absolutely love working on these things and putting them together. They're a really nice. They're a really nice little vehicle and really nice RC. And we have the instruction manual for the lunchbox, as well as some documentation, the decal sheet. Very cool. And on this re-release version, the decals are also pre-cut, which makes it very beginner friendly as well. And it comes with a clear antenna tube, and then this insert in here. You can see it says lunchbox. And it basically says like the 5 basic rules of RC. And says it again here in Japanese. So Very little cool little insert. So moving that aside, I did also pick up some upgrades for it. Let me stick this back here so it looks a little prettier. This is the servo I'm going to be using. It's the servo I used with my very first lunchbox. It's just the Amazon 20 kg Metal Gear servo. This is a very nice servo, works very well. And the aluminum case adds a little weight to the front to help it be a little more stable and steer a little better. I also have, of course, the full ball bearing set, because that's very important, as well as the Tamiya CVA short shock set for the rear. If you want oil-filled shocks front and rear, you'll have to pick up 2 of these. I only picked up one because the seller I bought it from only had 1 left. And the other reason is, honestly, with all the lunchboxes I've messed with, it's not really that necessary to have all 4 oil-filled shocks. If you just have oil-filled shocks in the rear, that should be plenty for most applications. So I'm going to start with the rear shocks and see where we go from there. And you can see in the back which lengths to build your shock depending on your cars. So let's see. For the lunchbox is going to be the 80mm shock. So if you don't want to use this one and want to use some other shock, it looks like it is an 80mm shock. So, pretty cool. So coming back to the chassis, I think this is a really cool chassis, and I think it's very cool that Tamiya still offers the lunchbox, and as an extension, we still get to mess with this chassis, which I think is pretty cool. So the overall design of it is pretty basic, and it's a pretty basic bathtub chassis. It would be even simpler if not for all the molded bits here, originally meant for the mechanical speed control. The modern one obviously doesn't need all that. But it's also pretty cool because there's still suspension mounts down here from when this was the Mitsubishi Pajero wheelie and rode more like a buggy. So some of that is still present there, so that adds some more versatility to how you can use this chassis in different kind of builds and stuff. So really get your creative juices flowing with this, which I think is very cool. The other thing that's very cool about the lunchbox in particular, I believe the lunchbox was the first version of the CW01, so the body was made specifically for this chassis. So when the body goes on, it fits perfectly, and with the way the chassis is designed, it has natural inner fenders, so that keeps out a lot of dirt and dust and makes the truck look pretty cool even from underneath. So I think that's pretty cool, and I don't know. I wish more people mess with the lunchbox. It'd be pretty cool to have a lot more like lunchbox upgrades, lunchbox racing class or something. I think that'd be really fun. But anyway, I will be building this up as a regular build. As I'm building it, I will give you guys some tips and tricks about the build, some recommended upgrades, some recommended tips on the build. So look forward to that, as well as after I'm completely done with the build, I have some pretty big channel announcements. So stick around for that, and I have a very special paint job in mind to kind of go with that special announcement for this lunchbox body. So all very exciting stuff, and something I think you guys hopefully will look forward to. So until then, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.